We bought the S760 John Deere harvester. Today I bought a nice header that goes with it, which also required me to upgrade the auger to a longer one so that it'll work together. I did realize we have a tight fit in here. We'll have to figure that out, maybe cut down a few more trees to make our entrance to this field larger, but this will be the first field that we've got to harvest of our own on this playthrough. I'm super excited about it, but our money's lower. We did spend a lot of money to get this equipment and get it ready. We still don't have a grain cart, and we still don't have a silo. So today we're gonna borrow a few items. We're gonna do a baling contract for Ben, and we're gonna do a few weeding contracts as well. And these last two small rows should get it done. Just time to collect our money. That brings our total to $120,000. That's not gonna be enough, but I think I do wanna wait until July to find out how short we are. I just don't see any good contracts that will really satisfy us. So what I'm gonna do is go buy somewhat of a cheap grain cart to get started with, and then we'll upgrade it eventually, but we need around $145,000 for the silo I want. So let's go get that grain cart. We know we need it, and then after that we'll see how much money we have left over. We do need to clear some land before we get to that harvest, because I do need to get the silos delivered. They'll be installed today, and hopefully we'll get done with the shed soon, because that's just driving me nuts. For $37,000, I think this one would be a good start for us. Little farm tech trailer, and we have a silo. Once we have the silo nearby where we're harvesting, the capacity won't be a big problem to begin with until we get bigger fields. So I think this is a wise decision, and I think if we wait a couple more hours, or if we just drive through this crop and then get home, we could cut down some trees, sell them. We do need to clear some land for the silo. Yeah, let's baby step it. Let's get back there, let's figure that out, see how short we are financially, and go from there. And I thought I'd give a little update. We're still 4,000 short on roof plates, so that's still gonna be a little bit of time. We might figure out something else to get that done today though. All right, so we kind of need this done. We kind of need it done. What we're gonna do is the next 4,000 roof plates that spawn, I am going to throw away. It's time. And here it is, it fit. It fit good. Okay, so a lot more detailing is gonna happen around this area. We're gonna get some landscaping going, but this is our shed. It's similar to the one that we used in a different series, but I love it. We'll have a place to repair things now. We'll get a pressure washer in here eventually. I wish it came with one built in, but that'll be all right. Let's go ahead and get all these opened up, and we'll slowly start getting this thing populated with all of our equipment. But I think for now, this is gonna be more than enough capacity. So one more hour, we'll have enough money. We're at 144, puts us a little short, and this is the area I kind of want the silo. Let me do some planning about that. Let me think about it. Well, it turns out that it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be. It was $125, so we have $19,000 left over. We still need to do some grading on this road to make it a little more functional. You see a big drop right here we're going to have to take care of, and a route eventually, but I think we'll get by today with the harvest that we have. We have some lumber that we could sell. I'm going to actually shut the truck off. We're going to hold off on that for now. It might end up going to the sawmill. I haven't decided yet. But we do owe ourselves 4 things of roof plates, and we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, this is sweet. This is going to work out good. It's time. Let's head on over to the barley field and look at that crop ready to go. So we'll hold off right here. I'm not really sure if we're going to even need a full combine here. We're going to find out. We'll definitely need it for the back fields. You can see we did have a little bit of crop damage right here when I was trying to get into the area. I think it's so tiny you can barely even see it. But let's jump in our new harvester here and see about getting this all hooked up and working. If we can get into the field, that is the big concern. Is the opening big enough? We're gonna take our grain cart with us, our header trailer with us. I think I know what we got to do. We got to back out here like this. So close to this tree, isn't it? Let's see. Oh yeah, right there. Okay, so we need to sneak in here somehow and get this out of the way. And these guys have been here forever. All right, let's grab the John Deere. We'll drop the grain trailer for a second. We're gonna have to get that header trailer moved. Gosh, I guess this opening is big enough right here. We could have done it that way. I was thinking it wasn't though. And there was really no way to get back here with the header on it. Definitely hard to navigate in the trees. Try not to damage any of this crop. I think we can just swing like this. And that should get the grain trailer out of the way for now. I keep calling it a grain trailer. That is a header trailer. And then we can sneak back over here and hook back up to the actual grain trailer. And then we should be able to sneak on in now with this. All right. Everything seems to be prepped here. Pretty glorious moments. First time harvesting our own fields. And we ran into a tree already. We knew that was going to be an issue. My goodness, that's so picky. There we go. We got it. Now we're going to learn the spots where we're going to want to remove some trees for next time to allow us to actually, you know, not damage the equipment when we run into trees like that. Tight squeeze. But we're looking at 120% yield here. This is pretty glorious for the small area. A little bit of straw going on the ground as well. Now all three crop types are going to be, well, they're two crop types, but all three fields are going to generate straw for us. So we're going to definitely need a baler next. And that's something else that we should have been keeping an eye on financially. $22,000. I'm not sure we're going to get lucky with anything in the market for that cheap that we wouldn't just instantly outgrow. But we will take a look after we get done with the harvest. I'm missing just a few spots, but we knew that was going to be the problem with how close we planted to the trees. The terrain change here is also going to be somewhat of an issue. It's going pretty good. Oh, we just damaged some crops. Just damaged a little bit there. That's not too bad, though. 10,572 liters. Not a bad start in here. Seems to have great yield. We did a great job taking care of this property. Oh, the height here. That's not very many. Oh, maybe we're on a terrain difference there. Yeah, we are. It's leaning big time. I was going to say, that's going to be a problem. Is the terrain that different, or is it the harvester? That's crazy. All right, close it up, get this back going, and finish this harvest. There does seem to be a few spots that it's having a hard time getting the grain here. We'll see if going this way, if it'll pick it up. Yeah, uneven field. Kind of knew that was going to be the issue. But it looks like we're getting about 12.9, or sorry, 15.9, 15.8 tons per hectare. And yeah, there's a big spot that it missed there. My goodness. And definitely not a lot of barley to start with here. And let's go ahead and try out that new silo. Cutting through some brush for now, but like I said, we will definitely get this landscaped eventually. Our first barley going in our new silo. Capacity is 500,000 liters, and we're not even going to tip that today. 14,000, almost 15,000 liters in there. And that'll be at its best price in March, and we're going to make around $16,000 off that field. Not very good. Super disappointed I can't find or seem to get a hold of the gentleman that runs this field here, because I would love to do this contract. Ben, where you at? All right, we're gonna have to get a shed just for this thing, and I think it's gonna live out. Let's see if I can get it to jackknife enough for me, turn enough, crank it so we don't hit my truck. Crank it a little bit more. Yeah, right in this little vicinity is where it's gonna live for now. That'll be okay. Just slowly moving our goods around, our equipment, getting them in the shed where they're going to belong long term. And that's going to free us up to selling some of these buildings up front that I don't want anymore. These two sheds here, the barn and the shed. And repurpose this area long term. Ooh, quite the squeeze, but we got it. Cedar will fit in here. Good to know. It's about as tall of a tractor that will fit in here as well. I'll go ahead and leave it in here for now. We've got a lot more equipment to move in here and just kind of get to fit, but I think that's a good time to take a look at the catalog and see if we can figure out a baler that's going to work for us. I feel like the Massey Ferguson might be what we start with. They're tiny bales. We're going to be selling the straw right away. I don't think we're going to store it for a while. I think that'll do it. Really gets us tapped out financially though. We did have it delivered. It was another $500 for that, and just instantly filling up and dropping bales. Pretty good width that it's picking up though, and at least these bales are a size that we could pick up by hand, throw them on the trailer. All right, let's get it done. And getting these baled up just in time for the rain to hit. There's a nice large swath that dropped over there where we started that I do want to grab. And then everything else I'm kind of just let it stay there. Not too concerned with it. But another $3,000 just deposited in our account, or close to. That's what we're getting. I think it's about $2,500 every hour that cycles right now between the cement factory, the sawmill, and the greenhouse, which once we have funding, we'll probably be adding a few more greenhouses in the area where we're going to sell those buildings. I think that'll do it. Let's go ahead and unload these. All right, and we were going to put this away for now and go pick up the trailer and see how many of these we have. I guess it shows us 69 bales is what we got there. 69 tiny little bales. All right, that's put away under cover. Rain is starting to come down a little bit harder now. We're gonna kind of cheat the system here. Not necessarily cheat it, but take advantage of some of our space and store the bales underneath the shed here of the sawmill for the nights. So I do think I want to see, you know, how much we can actually get with the next harvest. That's all we're gonna do in July. We're just gonna wait out this storm and hope that the weather cooperates in August for us to get the next harvest. Boy, that would be nice. We just don't have the funding for it right now. Now that we've acquired this land that we're about to harvest today, I'm really debating if we want to keep the smaller field or if we want to re-leverage that land for more productions long term. You know, $16,000 from the harvest, and you know, probably I guess time-saving stock check will tell us for the straw around $8,000. So $24,000 is what we're making off that field every year. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be very beneficial, but we are headed out to the 2 new fields, the oat fields. Man, that looks pretty. Turned out good out here. I love this little road we made, a little bit of grass on each side of it. I'm ready to jump back in the harvester and see how much money we can make off of oats. And look at this. Instead of us doing a contract, Ben just let it go to waste. Now, oats don't yield as well as barley does, so I expect this to be a little bit less time unloading than what we were seeing at that first field. And you can see the numbers super low. We're getting about 5 tons per hectare, where we were getting about 15, so a third of the output here on this crop type. In certain areas will yield better because of the soil types, we do know that, but I think it's time to just focus on this and get her done. Well, I am beyond satisfied with how this is turning out. We're gonna have to stop right here and unload. Didn't completely get around the headland, but that's a good problem to have. The more we unload, the more money we're making. Yeah, flowing good. Got that header still running, so it's a little dangerous if we walk in front of that, but I think we'll just leave the cart there. I'm gonna keep on harvesting, and I don't know if we're gonna need any employees to help us out anytime soon. These field sizes, this one's decent. It's not large. Definitely compared to the rest of this county, it is definitely not large, so, but let's get back at it. We got the little field to do next as well. Finish this headland, then we'll get some ups and downs going. It took a little while. It is August, it says year 3, so we're starting year 3 really right now. And we're finally in a flow of flipping our own fields. And getting this second load here, I do think we're gonna be able to fit this whole field in this grain cart, but I imagine this is more money. We'll see. Oats aren't the best when it comes to finances. We do know that. Typical oats prices are a little bit higher actually than barley. Barley will peak at 1,100 and doesn't fluctuate a ton here. Where the oats, they don't either. So I guess we don't really have to wait to sell these. Interesting. Not a lot of fluctuation here in Minnesota. Let's get back at it. 75% full of the farm tech, so I believe it will be full if we get another hopper full of the harvester. So it looks like we will be filled up one more time and facing the wrong way. So I'm gonna get this little piece here and then we will unload and finish the harvest. 28,000 liters here. So that's about $56,000 or close to. Let's drop it off at the silo, and then we'll be able to finish the harvest. Everything going as planned. And after dropping off the goods, we can see in here the oats are worth $54,000 right now. And we're not done yet. And all done with the harvest, another pretty much full harvester here, which means it's another about 20 grand. Pretty pleased. I'm pleasantly surprised that we still have a little harvest to do over here, and we filled it up. Pretty good day. Pretty pleased with the way these fields are yielding these oats. And sneaking up here to drop off the last bit of oats. Hoping it all fits. It does, but another $50,000. So this was more than a $100,000 day, which is definitely a start. We want more fields. These fields are a lot more expensive than that. That's why we got those productions going to really increase our revenue every hour. See, we're already up to $73,000. We were just at about, what, $300 or $3,000 not too long ago? Now it's time to make some decisions. Do we just sell this stuff right away, get some upgrades that are going to help us get going with the harvest or the planting session? 67,000 liters used, 14,000 of it barley, and 53,000 of it oats. Time-saving stock check shows that we have $102,000 worth of oats, 105 at peak price, and barley is 16,000. Pretty productive day, and it's only 11 o'clock. I made a decision. I also did a little remodeling, decorating, started somewhat working on what this is going to look like here. You can see we have a little exit road, but we are going to sell the oats. I'm going to send this down or take it down to the sales location, and probably 3 trips because we're going to sell the barley as well, and then we're going to start flipping those fields. We got to take care of the bales first, the straw, but after the straw is taken care of, it's time to prep those fields. And I want to see where our money is sitting because it is going to be most likely September. We'll take a look. It's still early. We got some rain coming, but we might have to get planting going in September and October this year. I don't really want to wait until spring. We'll take a look after we see where the money's at. All right, it looks like this is the place to sell the oats. Let's see what this first load gives us. 54,000 plus 4,700 from the environmental score. We're at $134,000. Let's go get the rest. There's really no reason to wait with the economy the way it is here in Minnesota. So I figured we might as well make the money now. We'll know exactly what we have in our bank accounts because I want a larger spreader. We also have to think about something for a sprayer or a way to treat weeds. Since we're not going to be plowing this time around, we will start getting weeds to show up. Now, I want to turn all of these roads into the gravel roads. You can see we started adding it here. I might look into adding more textures if I can figure out how to do that. I think there might be mods that do that now, so we don't have to change the map, but we do have our sales location there. But this is still a little bit too tight of a squeeze here. So we'll probably be extending a little bit farther, but we got to start balancing the decision between upgrading our equipment and getting all the equipment we need and buying more fields, because all of those itches are going to be there. I want, a bigger spreader, a big sprayer. I want a bigger planter. Well, I want a planter, but a bigger seeder and a decent sized planter and another tractor. Really, another tractor would have been helpful. We could have put a worker on baling while we were harvesting so we could get work done a little bit quicker and move through months faster and make money faster and build out this farm faster. So those are all the things I'm kind of debating in my head, and we'll get there. Sunflowers look awesome though. And the last bit of the oats. What is this place? Oil mill. Okay, something we might want to look into long term. And another 48,000 plus 4,300 almost puts us at $200,000. Let's get home. We'll grab the barley. We'll get it sold. We have baling to do too, so we got a lot to do around here still. So many ways to get to the same point now. This was just a forest not too long ago. All right, let's get that barley. Just driving past this field, we're gonna own it someday. We're gonna own pretty much this whole bottom southwest corner of the map. And I really don't want to harvest that until I have multiple harvesters and multiple tractors that are going to be able to unload it, and then possibly multiple semis. And that's going to be a full-on auto drive setup, and that's what a lot of these big harvests are going to end up being. And I just think that's made up my mind that we might want to stay pat on the fields we have right now and make them work until we have enough money. And if that's getting more productions going, maybe figuring out a way. I don't know if we want to tackle animals yet, but we absolutely, like in the background there, you can see that is, I believe, a cow barn, and I might be chickens as well, that I definitely want to own eventually, and that could be the home of our livestock. So there's a lot of plans that I have for this series, and I think if we do it right, we'll get there faster. And I think by upgrading equipment instead of buying land right now is the right route for us. And the barley getting sold puts us above $200,000, 209 to be exact. We do have the bales, but we probably want to bale first. I was debating buying a baler, but there is other equipment that we need prior to doing that. So what we'll do is we'll bale the fields next. At that point, we'll probably, well, we'll see when the rain gets here, but we want to put another application of lime down, but I want a better spreader for that. And for the second we don't need 2 applications of fertilizer. We can get the 1 done during planting. So I think that's the plan, a bigger spreader. And then we probably also want to look into a sprayer, or, I mean, a weeder works. We've been doing that a lot on the channel. We'll compare prices. I just feel like you can get the work done so much faster with a nice sprayer. I mean, the shed looks good in the distance there. See the truck. This looks like an established farm. Drop off the grain car here, and we'll get into the baler. And back at the baling here. Just such tidy bales. I'm wondering if we do all 3 of these fields. You know, we did the 1 already. If all of the bales are going to fit on the trailer at once, or if we'll have to do 2 trips. I'm guessing it's going to be more than 1 trip, because this is going to be a ton of bales. Well, I'm not going to be picky about picking up every little piece of straw, but we are at, oh man, 491 bales. That's insane. There's no way they're all going to fit. No freaking way. All right, there's our answer. That is all it will hold. And I'm hoping that's about half. Let's figure out where we're selling these. We are going to the animal dealer. It looks like this is the entrance here. I don't think we've sold anything here yet. Let's go ahead and unstrap them now. I think it's safe. They're just gonna fall in. Nice. And a pretty good payday there, $25,000 plus a $2,200 bonus. Almost puts us at $250,000 again. Let's go get more. I think it'll be 3 trips. Maybe 2. I think it's gonna be 3. Still think it looks like an elementary school. All right, let's cruise on up over here. Try not to get stuck. And are they gonna sell like this? I always forget what we gotta do. There we go. Now we can just unstrap them and they will start selling. Oh boy. Okay, our total is now up to $274,000 and a little bit more to get. Oh my goodness, guys. I have never seen such a thing. All right, so the game decided to reset it on its own. So we lost that income. That's hilarious. I'm not too worried about that. Okay. All right, the small spreader is sold for $9,000. Now here is our new setup, and our money does not reflect. It only cost us $3,700. We're gonna fix that. $200,000 has been removed. Now I didn't intend on this to be a John Deere playthrough, but it's slowly turning into it. We'll mix it up eventually. And we're just gonna fill this thing up with as much lime as we can here. So with what we're doing here, my goal isn't to get yield as high as possible. My goal is to make sure our environmental score stays as high as possible. And I don't believe it's realistic to lime after every time you harvest. But we're gonna do that because that's the way I've always used precision farming. We can see weeds are already growing on that field. I'm undecided still. I got, maybe an hour before I have to make a decision on that small field. A real life hour. But let's start on this small one to begin with here. And we're gonna go 1 headland, and that width is not accurate. Okay, let's go ahead. I think we had this problem before when we used this mod. Let's take a look. So the width on here is 25.9. So let's go back into here and we'll do 25.9. Is that what it was? 25.9? And that seems to be much better. It's closer. It's still not completely accurate, so we'll be wasting a little bit of product, but not a ton. Though I think it might actually be set up the way it needs to be for this. All right, let's get her done. All right, well, we have plenty of capacity. I did have to set cruise control at 14 here to get the splotchiness to go away. And I think that is a known issue. So we got to work around, but some of the areas didn't get applied correctly. I don't know how that affects the environmental score, but we're all set here. The rain did hit. That means everything else that we want to do on these fields, well, they're probably gonna have to wait till next month anyways. And I can't believe it, but we are already out of storage. Luckily, this one doesn't have collision, so we're able to just drive through there. Okay, this is gonna be moved soon. Yeah, let's take cover. I'll see you in September. Well, I got the planter out and all prepped. We are gonna do some canola today, but we do need to get the plow going first. So I guess the fact that we don't have a direct drill, we don't have the ability to do a no-tillage planting. So that means we're never gonna see weeds until we switch up. So I guess I didn't need to buy that other implement or attachment for the new spreader. But eventually I think that might change when it comes to the decisions we make on getting the bigger equipment, the upgraded planter and the new planter and the upgraded seeder. Boy, the sun rays in September. They're intense. But I think what I'm gonna do is on this side of the calendar, we're going to just plant the one field. I think I'm gonna hold off on doing the two smaller fields until spring. So we got lime put down. We're gonna turn it over now, and that'll get it all prepped for planting. Oh, this is the right width right here. I want everything to be this width long term. A plowed field looks so nice. I love the color of it. Just that nice fresh soil on top. Should make for a really good seed bed here. We should be able to get this last little speck. And I think I am gonna head in to the market and we're gonna see about getting our next upgrade. For $35,000, we are gonna sell the Great Plains solid stand 1500. I think we're gonna go with this Lemkin. Is that how you say it? Lemkin? Never used it before. We're gonna give it a shot. $165,000 uses most of our money and the delivery fee. So the seed we have hopefully is enough. We'll have to do fertilizer ourselves with the spreader, which is not an issue. We'll just have to get the product. We might have to wait a few hours before we have enough money for that. But I wanted to use something I've never used before, and I might have used this a couple times, but not long term at all. So we're gonna do canola, just seeing what else we could do. Peas would be interesting, but I don't think we want to do that. And the capacity on this is really nice. I decided to go with one that is not a no-till, so we can keep doing the plowing. I think that is a good way to do it with precision farming, even though the no-tillage does give you a good bonus score as well. But I like the fact that we don't have weeds. The thing I do question, and I don't remember, is if we lose a bonus for not treating the weeds since we never have an opportunity to. 1,100 liters of seed. I don't remember if that'll be enough, especially since we haven't planted canola yet, but money's a little tight since we decided to spend it all. So we're gonna wait and find out if this is enough seed. And away we go, getting some canola in the ground for the first time. And I don't remember the last time I planted canola, so this should be fun. 52 seeds per meter square. Seems low. It says it's about medium. So we'll see how this does. And just working on the ups and downs here. This width is beautiful and we have plenty of seed. The seed rate has stayed pretty consistent, so it's not going down too fast. And this ground is looking amazing. But what I don't like is it's September and there is snow in the forecast. It's going to be a hard winter. And all done with the fall planting session. Well, I guess it's still summer, isn't it? Technically. Which, looking at the forecast, it says 53 degrees is the low, but I see snow in there. I need to take a closer look at this. Yeah, let's jump in our little office over here and take a closer look at the weather app. It does say snow. It's got to be wrong. It's got to be wrong. December, January, February definitely makes sense, but from 1400 to 1800 today and 6 in the morning tomorrow. Oh, that can't be right. A couple hours have passed now and we got some fertilizer delivered. We're gonna go out and get that field sprayed or spread because I don't know if conditions are gonna be good moving forward until spring. And away we go. This width is about the same issue we were having with the lime. So there'll be a little bit of waste here, but I think it'll be okay. Things are turning green. Seems to be a little more consistent than the lime spreading was, but there is a little bit of sketchiness going on the map there. The rates aren't dropping too fast, so I think we'll have enough product. We do have a little bit more cash just in case we don't. But this might be the last task we're able to do besides move trees around until spring. Fertilizer is definitely going to be one of our biggest expenses moving forward. I bought an extra one thinking I wasn't going to use it, and we used about half of it. So it's all good though. This field's done. We're really just ready to sit and grow until spring. And good thing we prepped it that much, because I don't think we're going to be able to do anything if there's going to be snow in the forecast every month for the rest of the year. Until spring, really. It doesn't look like it's gonna snow, but it could change fast. It's been a fun year here on the SWU farm, our survival challenge. Things are coming together real nice, and this area is gonna need a lot of expanding soon. Specifically over here. I might get to some of that work this winter, but we're gonna shut the GoPro off until spring. I'm Socks Way Up. I'll catch you on the next one.